Hello everybody and welcome back. I am KRX and we're going to be playing as Jianzhou in EU4, working on a SWOT analysis and opening moves. This is going to be sort of just getting the country set up, looking at the situation, making a plan, talking a little bit about the country. This is actually a country that we have played before. We've done a full campaign for on the Twitch channel. We've also done a timeline and final thoughts for that video. It was the one where we essentially went Jianzhou into Manchuria, into the Qin dynasty. So there's an achievement for forming the Qin dynasty. As any of these countries are capable of doing that, or any of the ones that form Manchu. So there's also a number of other achievements for having a certain amount of banners raised up for Manchu as well. In fact, actually, I'm trying to think. Yeah, right here, we could raise the banners here. So I think you need like 100. You need like a. I'm trying to remember exactly how many banners you need to have raised, but we could actually raise up the banners. These are incredibly powerful and potentially cost-effective units. These are like a special things because we're of the Manchurian culture group. We have access to those things. We are actually a horde, which is actually kind of interesting. This is a classic country that a lot of people have used to very quickly conquer the world, very quickly and effectively conquer the world. Hordes kind of have the privilege of just being able to go to war with anybody. You can raise the land, you can do all kinds of crazy stuff. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to go through and do a sort of getting started guides and quick start guides with the countries that we've played on the Twitch channel because we have a little bit of experience with them. But then also, of course, as on the channel, we have a lot of these kind of guides that are based on countries we haven't played before that are just based on random countries. Essentially, the idea with that is that it's about building the process, right? How do you start the game in EU4? What are the things you look for? How do you devise a strategy? How do you make a plan? How do you make those opening moves? So on and so forth. And that's what we're going to be trying to cover in these series in general, but also, of course, for this one for Jianzhou. So we just kind of are looking around. We're exploring the country. It's been years since I've played these guys. And there's actually been some updates. I believe they have a few fancy achievements, it looks like. Or missions, I should say, I'm sorry. So it looks like it wants us to conquer this particular province. And this one. Where is the last one? Holan. Up here. So we need to take these 4 provinces here. And then we get permanent claims in the entire Manchuria region. Holy cow, that's insane. That is completely bonkers. Yearly, 20 years we get extra horde unity. Then if we actually unite them, then we'll presumably get permanent claims on Mongolia. Eventually this will bypass the Great Wall. This is insane. So this stuff is actually bonkers. So we're basically just going to get complete permanent claims on everything if we could just take all this stuff. Now we are next to Ming. Are we a tributary of Ming at the start? Yes, we are. We start as a tributary of Ming. We're not going to be able to break that most likely. But these guys are tributaries too, and we'll be able to attack them no problem because we're tributary, they're tributary. So we're definitely, we even have 3 diplomats. We must be kingdom rank. That is awesome. So we definitely need to get a claim on these guys. We're going to need to attack these guys ASAP. Otherwise, we're going to have to attack these guys. We might want to try to get an ally. So Ming is not going to attack us because we're going to pay tribute to Ming to make sure not to attack us until we get larger. Once we unify Manchuria, we'll be able to break that tributary status and Ming won't be able to touch us. In fact, our troops, our ability to fight, especially in these low sort of plains and grasslands in here, is going to be insane because we're going to have basically, the cool thing is we are a Tengri, we're a Tengri horde, which means we actually have the potential to actually do no syncretic faith and have an infantry combat ratio of 100%. Or basically we're going to be able to have 100% cavalry. We don't need any infantry. We're just going to be coming in with the cav and just smashing everybody. It's going to be absolutely insanely amazing. Although we could work on that later because I think we do have a decent amount of Confucian. All of this is basically Confucian provinces. Except for we have a little bit of Tengri here. So we would have to convert that land back, which could be a little bit of a bummer. So our religious unity would just tank if we did that. In fact, actually, if we go up a little bit, most of this is Tengri, that's good. A little bit of Rayana, being a doofus on how I'm saying that clearly. But it looks like the land that we need does not include any of this. Oh, this is all part of Korchin, actually. Korchin's over there, harmonizing with them, it looks like. Okay. So we are going to have to do some conversions at some point. Yearly prestige is great. Tolerance of heathens. Sure. Doesn't seem to hurt anything. We have a 334. I think we start with a pretty amazing general, do we not? Yes, we start with an incredibly amazing general. Looks like this is actually our ruler. Is assigned as a 2441. Absolutely bonkers. Hopefully he stays alive in order to fight Korea, right? And we actually have a good heir too at 344. Let's go. Let's go. Although tolerant isn't really that useful because we have 100% religious unity here. Extra mercenaries, that's terrible. These are terrible traits. We rolled terribly in terms of our leader traits there. I guarantee those are not, those are randomized for sure. But yeah, being Tengri is actually really cool because we can essentially harmonize. It's like the Confucian where you can harmonize with different religions, but you can switch instantly. You lose prestige when you switch, but then it's just permanent. But it's only with one religion at a time. But depending on what you synchronize with, you make as your syncretic faith, you basically you get some benefits. So with Confucian right now, we're getting stability cost modifier and administrative technology cost reduction, which is kind of nice. But if we have no syncretic faith, I feel like I've said this differently in the past. Maybe I've always said that wrong. I apologize, guys. You actually get reduced regiment cost and you get additional infantry cavalry ratio, which is just bonkers. I think right now our infantry cavalry ratio is, where does it say? I'm pretty sure we're at 75% right now. Yeah, 25 additional 25% there. I guess if actually you come over here, you click on the horse here. Yeah, you could have comprised of no more than 75%. And if you add 25%, that you get to 100%, right? We're actually making money. Wow. Oh no, we're not. No, we're not making money. But if we don't pay the troops, we would be making money. We do have a fort here in the mountains, which is incredibly powerful for fighting whoever we fight. Let's keep that going, actually. We'll be able to make a good amount of money by actually fighting our enemies. This is grasslands, so this is a good place to attack into them. And we have that amazing leader. It's going to take a year or two in order to actually build up. I think what we could do is we could drop army maintenance for the first year while we're building up the actual spy network. We need to actually get our rivals in here. Korea is definitely going to be one of our rivals. So we'll be able to attack Korea, but we have a 5-year truce with Korea. Just saying. 5-year truce with Korea. We're going to rival those guys. We're going to try to see if we can actually get like an alliance with like Uran or something. Doesn't really matter too much. The Oriat, actually? Maybe? Maybe? I think we actually just send the alliance request with Uran, and then what we do is we swing over and we try to butter up the Oriat afterwards. So that's basically our diplomats sent and spent. We have just incredible attributes. 10% morale of armies, extra manpower recovery, reduced land attrition, more attrition for enemies, national unrest reduction, horde unity increase, yearly horde unity increase, which is really good. That's like our legitimacy. We end up sort of by default, you end up losing and burning a lot of that by default. And then you get it back by, I think, by looting and raising provinces, which is something we're going to want to basically do universally. 15% more banners. Extra land leader shock ability, which is really, really cool. Because we're going to be doing basically tons of shock damage with these cavalry. What can we do with our ships, actually? We have 2 trade ships. Okay, we should be able to protect in the node that we're collecting. And if we go here and we look, We're collecting here a little bit. We could try to collect down here, but I don't know if it actually would be worth it or not. Well, we could collect in Beijing. I'm going to collect in Beijing, and we'll also collect here with our other guy. And we'll just see if that ends up being better or not. We'll have to play around with the trade situation. Maybe it'd actually be better to have these guys protecting in Beijing. Oh, they don't have the trade. Maybe they don't have the trade range to get over there. Okay. That's fine. So it doesn't look like we get any free claims. Like, we don't get free claims on these guys. Oh, guys, we don't need claims. We're a horde. We can attack immediately. We do not... Oh, claims will still save us a little bit when it comes to coring the land. Claims are still a good idea, but we could just attack any of these guys because we're a horde. And if we could just take these two provinces and this province, then we'll be able to actually, like get free permanent claims on the entirety of the region, which is going to be just absolutely bonkers. In fact, let's see what that region looks like. The entire Manchurian region. Ooh. That's going to be crazy. That's going to be crazy. You can conquer this area very, very quickly as any of these hordes. Hordes are just incredibly fast in general. But with that mission, it's going to just kick it up into overdrive. So we have the tribes here, and it looks like we need a little bit of manpower recovery speed by having the tribes doing this. I haven't seen the tribes. I haven't played a horde since they actually changed the estates with the 1.3 patch. Get some governing capacity. Minus 10% available loot. Share of the spoils. I actually kind of like this because it makes them quite a bit happier. 5% happier. Greater autonomy for the chieftains. What's our equilibrium at right now? 45%? Guaranteed leadership of host. Okay, we've seen that before. That's similar to the other one. That doesn't give us any loyalty. It only gives us influence. Large tribal hosts. Plus manpower modifier, 20% more manpower. It reduces their loyalty because we're sort of squeezing them a bit. Morale of armies, 10%? Possible Manchur banners, minus 25% banners, but we get 10% more morale of armies. Oof. We need to learn a little bit about these banners here. This amount currently do. Cost corruption to raise and have higher discipline than normal troops. That's interesting to me. Do they cost as much? I don't want to hit this button yet, but I'm kind of interested that the fact that this actually is kind of like you get less banners, but you have better morale of armies. It's kind of a little bit appealing to me here. Let's hit this button here for greater autonomy for the chieftains. I'm tempted to actually make them a little bit happy by actually just giving them a little bit of the loot. Giving them a share of the loot. We could actually seize land from them, it seems, because they like us. Their equilibrium should be like 61. That's actually really good because that's actually above. That's actually above the bonus level of 60%, right? You get a little bonus if you're above 60%. This is a little bit sketchy doing agendas for these guys because you have to pick this one, and you either do it or you don't do it. Looting speed, available loot. Oh, interesting. As opinion, raised our provinces to the value of at least minus 25 in towards Jianzhou. Oh, any country. We just have to go pillage somebody. Let's go. Does that give us like a free claim or anything on anybody? No. That's awesome. This is going to be go time, guys. We don't have the economy right now. I'm not sure what we do here. We don't need our ships. We could just mothball these things and save a little bit of money. We're barely paying anything on our ships in general, so it doesn't even matter. What is our actual force limit? Because it would be good. Oh man, if we bannered up. Oh, banners are the same cost. We can only have 4 cavalry due to yada yada yada. It's saying it's going to raise a little bit of corruption though. But it doesn't cost anything to build these. It just costs maintenance and it raises corruption by... Wait, how much does it cost to bring down 0.33? So they're quite a bit cheaper. They're quite a bit cheaper. And they instantly raise. Oh, that's interesting. We could wait till we declare war then. Well, they have to get prepared. They have to sort of like ramp up. Let's get another one. And another one. Okay, you know, I think we're gonna attack these guys like ASAP. And once we get going. But I think we're basically ready to go here. We're losing a lot of money. Part of that is because we're going to be rooting out corruption. We're also paying a little bit more in army maintenance. This is fine. We're just not paying any of the actual money that we start with. We're just going to be burning that. Oh, that's only going to be 10 months. Yeah, that's why we got to get to war. We have to get to war. We might even do raise army taxes, to be honest. Raise war taxes. I'm tempted to do that, actually. And then we just got to get to war. Once we're at war, we should be able to loot for income, is the plan. Yeah, it actually looks like we're actually losing enough money that this is going to be a little bit problematic. Now, that corruption is going to go away, but... And if the corruption wasn't there, we'd be losing a lot less money per month. And if we have to take out a few loans, so be it. It is what it is. It is what it is. We'll be attacking soon enough, and hopefully once we attack, we'll be able to loot and pillage and gain a bunch of income that way. So, guys, thanks to everybody for hanging out for this sort of SWOT analysis, looking at the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats for Jianzhou, and talking a little bit about the sort of things that you can do with Jianzhou in terms of forming Manchuria, talking a little bit about going for the Qin dynasty. In fact, actually, adopt Manchu identity, exactly, right? We need 20 core provinces with the culture. And then presumably this gives us permanent claims. It actually gives us new traditions and ambitions even. Might give us, obtain new missions. Ooh. So it actually just give us a whole mission tree. It might be kind of an elaborate one too. That's kind of exciting. Guys, thanks everybody for being here for the SWOT analysis. I'll see you guys in the next video where we're going to be doing opening moves. But if you guys have any thoughts or questions or anything like that, just let me know down in the comments and we'll make sure to get to those. We of course have a playlist link down below that shows all of the other SWOT analysis, quick start guides, getting started tutorials for EU4 that we have, covering many other countries, including some beginner nations, some random nations, some other nations that we've done, some more difficult nations that we've done on the Twitch channel and stuff like that. And if anybody's actually curious about the actual run that we did where we actually formed the Qin dynasty, that is actually archived on the YouTube channel as well in the Final Thoughts playlist, the EU4 Timeline and Final Thoughts playlist that covers all of our past campaigns that we've actually completed to beginning to end on there. So thanks everybody. I'll see you guys in the next one.